Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to our Making Meaning show. My name is Kristen Burke. I'm the host for today, and I'm also the recruiting manager for AMN Language Services. I'm joined by Jesse, our fabulous certified deaf interpreter, as well as Sasha behind the scenes doing some ASL interpretation. So we are delighted to have you all with us today talking about in-person interpretation. Did you know that we do this at AMN? I know we have a huge reputation for being a VRI interpretation company. But before this session is over, I think you're going to have a good understanding of the other work we do, which is in-person interpretation. So we have a fabulous panel joining us today. Let's go ahead and bring out our guests. We have Rocio, Sophia, Callie. I just want to apologize to the audience. I'm a little sick, so just bear with me. It's that time of year. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before we do that, I want to tell everyone in the audience, say hello. Where are you listening from? We would love to see you there. And I see we already have Jen in the audience showing us some love. So thank you for joining, Jen. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started with some introductions. Rocio, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what got you into the interpreting field.
Hello, this is Rocio Morales, and the pandemic brought me to the interpretation field. I've been a teacher and a tutor for many years, and something happened during the pandemic that stopped. So trying to do something with my time, I found a great course in interpretation, medical interpretation, and my background is science. So I was very interested by that. And it's been wonderful. Now I combine both.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you. Sophia, introduce yourself and tell us why the medical field.
Good morning. Why the medical field? I think the medical field is so fascinating. It's the combination of science and art, and it focuses on treating diseases, promoting health and well-being. And illness is a universal part of human experience because we are the biological beings. So, with that said, it is one of the most practical fields, and I can't say more suitable pursuits. And I think medical interpreters get to be there and with the patients and families with their most vulnerable times, and being there as a language liaison when someone is in need is one of the most powerful opportunities that you can make a tangible and positive impact.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much. Callie, you're up next. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into talent acquisition for interpreters?
Hello, everyone. My name is Callie, and I'm a talent acquisition consultant with AMN Language Services. I mostly specialize in contractor hires or contracting interpreting, which includes both over the phone and in person. My start in the talent and career that was a little bit more impactful. And then I was introduced to the world of interpreting, and I saw an opportunity to apply my full scale recruiting experience in a way that truly made the impact that I felt like was something that would create a more purposeful career.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
And I want to give some shout outs. We have a lot of people in the audience. We have a Burmese interpreter from Denver. We have Nur coming in from Milwaukee. We have Cynthia in Pembroke Pines, Florida. We've been doing a lot of recruiting there. We need ASL interpreters, if anybody's in the audience close to Pembroke Pines. Thank you all for being here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the language focus. Rocio, tell us a little bit about, your language background. How did you become proficient in more than one language?
Yes, it was at the starting of going into college, probably high school. I started a little late to read. When you go into college, most of the articles, the books that you are researching to do papers in my country, you needed to learn English. So that's what's my start of learning another language. And I like learning languages. I discovered that. So now I'm learning French, a little bit of Creole, just to try to keep my brain busy and sharp.
That's wonderful. Sophia, yeah, tell us about your language background and six languages.
I came to the U.S. with very little English. I'd say minimal, less than conversational even. So when I came, because of my little English, I used to sit all the way back in the classroom watching the teacher's mouth move. So back then, learning English was like a primal drive so that I could understand the people around me, so that I can communicate with them and blend in and integrate myself into a completely new environment. And I'm Vietnamese, so Vietnamese and English are very different, even though the Vietnamese use the Roman alphabets, but English. So even though the writing is a little easier because we do use Roman alphabets, the grammar and pronunciations are totally on different spectrums. So it was quite a challenge. So I did a lot. So I would go to school during the day, and outside of the school hours, I watched children's shows. I love them. I still do. Most of them are on PBS, the public broadcasting service. I read children's books. I still do. I have young children. And I progress to listening to radio programs on MPR, that's Minnesota Public Radio. And I do listen to National Public Radio. I love them so much. I learned my pronunciation and I learned my vocabulary so that I can be more than basic English speaking person. And I do read a lot. I do read fiction, nonfiction, novels, newspaper, whichever that is within reach.
That's amazing. It's so admirable to me, to hear your story that you've come to the country knowing little to no English, and now here you are working in the language services industry. So that's great. Callie, tell us a little bit about the most difficult language to recruit for. I know you've probably seen a little bit of everything over the years.
Yes. So I would say the language that is most challenging to recruit for is American Sign Language. There is currently, I think, a pandemic in a sense as it relates to the pool of interpreters, just kind of shrinking due to retirements or even work fatigue. And there aren't enough new interpreters entering the field. So their availability, the ones that are still currently in the field, their availability is all creative with how I source out new interpreters, as well as relying heavily on referrals. I've learned to just be patient and give grace if responses are delayed. And my number one rule is always to never take it personally if they don't respond back or if they're not interested.
Good. And I'm so glad you mentioned ASL, because yes, we almost always have a job for you if you're an ASL interpreter. Go to our website, please, because that Callie's absolutely right. We always need good ASL interpreters. And I'm telling my kids, we need to get you fluent in American Sign Language so you can be an interpreter and help us, solve this problem here. So,
Indeed.
okay. Getting into kind of the in-person interpretation with AMN a little bit more. Rocio, can you tell us a little bit about what the process was like for you to come on board as an in-person interpreter with
Yes,
AMN?
of course. It was very easy. I had a few years of experience as an in-phone interpreter. So my vocabulary, but I still wanted to see the other part, what it would be to have the experience as an in-person interpreter. So I saw an ad on Indeed, and I already had my CHI medical interpreter certification. I had a very seamless to get into AMN, and that's how I'm here.
Good. Yeah, we're in this new phase of the post-pandemic where it's like, all right, people want to get out into the world and work on site again. Credentials, because we do require, in most cases, we do require that you come with a training, as a contractor. So great.
And I think it's important. You're right.
Absolutely. Yeah, contract work, of course, is a little different from employment. On our employment side, like the VRI side, independent contractor, we really can't train you. So we have to bring on people who have come with their own credentials. So, Sophia, same question for you. But really kind of staying in the same theme of the training. Did you come with your own training before you joined us?
I cannot agree with you, Rocio, more. I did have some medical interpreting training prior than to come and on board. As for formal training, I took a semester course in medical terminology while working toward my bachelor's degree. And outside of that, I did have to study very hard. I passed a couple of language proficiency tests. One was given by the Judicial Courts at Minnesota Bureau of Investigation. And I know that these don't sound like they're relevant to the medical part, but I tell you, as the language goes, everything will come together. And I do believe that formal training is so essential. It provides that structural footing that is crucial for building on the job knowledge. You can go on site, but the training that you only realize when you're on the job, and you have that aha moment, and you're like, I know I learned that. And we spoke about that in class. And so this backbone of professional development help because there's foundational concepts, best practices, the baseline of knowledge that will allow you for more effective and efficient. I've gone to many trainings and symposiums throughout the years when opportunity arises. These are so important because these are the times that you actually learn from the professionals. You connect with your colleagues. You hear from the administrators and providers, and the opportunity for professional growth and personal connection. So I fully agree with you and Rocio on that.
Yes. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. We hear from so many of our interpreters that they kind of have their little network after they go through the training program. Then they have access to maybe some ongoing education and bouncing ideas off of their colleagues that they met in training. So yeah, it's really invaluable. I want to do a quick shout out to a couple more folks we have in the audience, and then also remind everyone, if you have questions, now is your time to ask them. We're here. You've got the open mic. Just throw it in the chat, and we're happy to answer your questions. I do see Viola in Massachusetts. I want to say we have a ton of work up there for in-person, so please reach out, please apply. And then the audio is bad. I'm so sorry to hear that. But let's get to our next question. So Callie, tell the audience about where are the hot jobs right now for in-person? What are the hot locations that we're hiring for?
Yes. So we are honestly hiring for everywhere across the United States and in some specific markets. But right now, our high priority locations include ASL in Pembroke Pines, Florida, ASL in Plymouth, Massachusetts, ASL in Frankfort, Kentucky, a Mandarin in Plymouth, as well as a Vietnamese in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And we are also introducing full-time interpreter opportunities for Spanish in ASL in Austin, Texas, and Nashville, North Carolina.
Yes. So bring it on. Get your applications in. Go to our website.
Yes.
Yeah, and then as and basically the sky's the limit there. You know, lots of rare languages, and we can take almost every language for over the phone. Not Spanish right now. We're covered on that, and Arabic as well, but more of the rare languages. Okay, so Rocio, question for you. How do you go about finding and accepting an in-person assignment?
Yes, so every company that an interpreter approaches is going to have a different way to do it. I like AMN because we connect through an app. So when there's an assignment that you are available to, you can just look at the app, see where it is located, and the date, and then you can kind of arrange your own schedule around that place. When you click that you accept the assignment, you will get more information. And that's when you can get to know people and ask questions if you have questions about the location.
Yeah.
And you also, I'm sorry, you also get an email. So if it is not going through the app, you will also get an assignment through an email.
Do you feel like the app is pretty easy to use?
Yes, and through the years, they have been updating it and making it more efficient to communicate with the company.
Yeah, good. Okay, great. Facility with AMN.
I love it so much. I think working on site is so meaningful. You come into the session, you have very basic information, and the curtains open, the show is on. Every session is different in every way, and you do want to come into the session prepared. Like before you get accepted the assignment, you are going to be told where to go. So the knowledge of the specialty of the assignment will help. So kind of review it before I come in. And every day at work is a learning experience for me. It helps me grow as a professor to allow for better rapport through the non-verbal cues like the consistent eye contact, the open body language, and active listening. And this builds trust, and it makes patients feel more comfortable sharing sensitive information, because this is the most sensitive time when they're most vulnerable. So I really like the fact that the apps that I can use, and it's so convenient. The pick, like Rocio said, checking in and out, interpreter schedule for details of the appointment. And I tell you, I look at the information on the interpreter scheduler so often that sometimes I can recite. The last app that I really like is Calabrio. It's so that you can check in your schedule and see where you're supposed to be. And I do wear my AMN badge with pride. And this is because of this reputation within the industry and the support that AMN provides for its interpreters